Messages from Archangel Michael, channeled through Rona Herman. The Evolution of the Soul, released on the 29th of March, 2019. Beloved Masters, you must endeavor to expand your capacity for love light so that it includes all creation. Love of nature, love of animals, love and compassion for humanity, love for your perceived enemies, and most important, love of self. For in essence, all of creation is a part of you, and you are a facet of the Supreme Creator. The expansion of God consciousness results in an expansion of your auric field, your light radiance. Over time, more and more of you will develop a radiance so powerful and expansive that it will begin to have a positive effect on those around you and eventually on the earth and all humanity. Quite a large number of the more advanced souls have already gained this ability. However, you must remember, you cannot convey that which you have not claimed as your own. Also, remember this, an important part of your mission on Earth is to intensify the light of the lower dimensions. Expansion of soul consciousness results in an expansion of the auric field, both in intensity and scope of influence. An aspirant on the path must focus on both outer and inner world training. You must strive to become a conscious observer of what is taking place around you. Training yourself to become fully engaged with focused awareness of the physical events in everyday life is vitally important, as well as learning to process the harmonious and the discordant frequency patterns to which you are subjected. You must then take the appropriate action. Practicing emotional and mental discipline is also very important as you seek to become a master of self. You must not turn your back on the world and life's experiences, but face them head on. However, it is vital that you learn to view life from a higher vantage point. Endeavor to see the bigger picture and not get entangled in the small story dramas. Logic is a function of the physical mental body and your mind. Remember, the knowledge of theories you accept as your own truth must be experienced in order to gain the wisdom from the disclosed information. Inspiration is supplied by the higher self and your sacred mind. You must learn to pay attention to the impulses of your sacred mind and sacred heart, or to the input of the prevailing facet of your higher self, for that is how you will gradually learn to communicate with the beings of the higher realms and gain cosmic wisdom. In the beginning, there was communication with and amongst specialized group spiritual guides and guardians. However, over time, this gift or ability was lost. As humanity sank deeper into material consciousness, they became submerged in the sensations of the five senses, and they gradually stopped turning inward for the sense of connection with the higher realms of consciousness. The lower third and fourth dimensions are not bright and clear. There is a misty or foggy overlay. Those souls existing in this environment do not realize this, for it is the state of awareness they are accustomed to. The reality of the lower third, fourth dimensions could be likened to existing within a murky labyrinth where you are forever seeking the path that will lead you back into the pure light of awareness. This fog gradually begins to dissipate as you move into the mid-sub-levels of the fourth dimension, and your world becomes lighter and brighter as you traverse each higher sub-level. In order to receive the lessons of light, you must lift your consciousness to attune to at least the fifth sub-level of the fourth dimension. In this sub-universal experience, there are 7 sub-levels to each dimension, with the first sub-level being the lowest or densest, and the 7th sub-level the highest and most refined. The masters and your guides are willing to meet you halfway. However, only on very rare occasions will they lower their frequencies into the density of extreme duality, for it is too uncomfortable for them. The ego is a facet of the physical personality. It was designed to assist you in developing a sense of identity and individuality over time. An outward-focused mind is guided by the ego. The misdirected ego self was instrumental in creating the illusional belief system of the material plane, a reality based on separation, fear, selfishness, and scarcity. As you expand your mental horizons, you begin to break down the barriers of self-limiting perception. Mind expansion includes activating dormant cells of the upper dimensional levels of the brain and tapping into the wisdom of your sacred mind. Blind obedience is not a requisite for enlightenment, for you are striving to become a master of self and to live your personal truths as they have been revealed to you and validated by your heart monitor. Humanity is in the midst of a soul and cellular awakening. As you move into the vibrational patterns of the higher 4th and lower 5th dimensions, your cells, etheric body, and auric field will begin an accelerated purification process. This process will facilitate and ultimately result in the downloading of the many facets of your higher self and the gradual reclamation of your body of light. Be mindful and aware every moment so that your focus becomes one-pointed and clear. You will gradually develop a sense of self-assurance and security, and knowing that all is well and that all will remain so. The soul is a refracted extension of your God self, or I am presence. The soul uses the right brain consciousness of intuition, which is connected to the higher sacred mind and spiritual will. An inner-focused mind is guided by the soul self. Humanity is in the process of developing the subtle, refined senses, which have become dulled from misuse. You must move past the basic, often distorted physical senses while diligently endeavoring to develop the higher mental senses of intuition and divine wisdom. It is of vital importance that you learn to control your emotional nature and to hold your thoughts steady on the light. Your God self is your original core intelligence, your first individualized identity within a universal or sub-universal experience. Within this sub-universal experience, your I am presence created your first 12 soul fragments or soul extensions. Since that time, your God essence has refracted and separated innumerable times. You are now in the process of reclaiming all the multiple facets of your divine self within this sub-universe so that you may move forward to a greater, more dynamic and expansive version of your divine self. To assist you in accomplishing this, your diamond core God cell and your personal flower of life creator wheel contain a full measure of the 12 rays of God consciousness for this sub-universal experience. They were designed so that you would always have access to your own full spectrum divinity for this sub-universal experience. Your task is to activate these rays, to incorporate the God qualities and attributes they contain, and then to use these qualities and attributes for the greatest good. There is still much confusion as to what the soul is, how it functions, and where it resides. It is vital that you understand the intricate process of reconnecting with the many facets of your higher self. It is also important that you gain clarity about the more in-depth teachings we have given you regarding the multiple higher self fragments. You may have many, not just one, and the process for incorporating these multiple facets of self. Therefore, we feel it is time for an advanced explanation of this most important process for the evolution of the soul.